it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button right below, right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape, or form. In a moment, I'm telling you to be aware of these guys. Yes, you want to stay tuned to hear all about this. But before I get into it, if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bermy, author of this awesome book, Fibromyalgia. Just joking. This is Asexual Perspectives 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. And this is my Fibromyalgia self-help handbook, who I'm also author of. So yeah, this is how to manage fibro, to have less pain, more energy, and feel happier like a superhero rock star. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. So in tonight's episode, we are talking about asexual dating again. If you're interested in finding someone for a relationship, you're interested in dating, and particularly if you're interested in looking for a guy, then I've got to tell you to watch out for these type of guys. So basically, I am on mingle2.com, which is a dating site that's not for asexuals. I've been giving this a try since January, and so far I've had quite a lot of sexuals, highly sexual guys on there approach me. Now, this guy, who I'm going to read out his message, this guy is on there, and he connected with, oh, hi, Liam. Hello, beautiful Sandra. We'd love to buy those books. Oh, thank you, Liam. Nice to see you. Oh, yes, please do. The links to the books are in the description below, down below this video, so you can get them. Well, yeah, the printed books you can buy anywhere, because I've got my own publishing company under Quirky Books, so you can actually order them from bookshops if you need to, but they're on Amazon anyway, so most people just get them from Amazon. I actually sell them for the lowest price on Amazon. Other bookstores tend to sell them for a bit higher price. So anyway, it's really, really nice, and thank you very much for the compliment about being beautiful. I really appreciate it. Lots of love to you, and thanks for the thumbs up. So yes, this guy on mingle2.com, I'm going to read out what he said, so you know of these type of guys to be aware of, right? So this guy, obviously, he's not on a asexual dating site. This is a dating site that's a traditional dating site used mostly to hook up, from what I see. And yes, I am asexual, and no, I don't want to hook up for sex. I really don't. And so you might think, why am I on here? But I think, you know, with the fact there's millions of people on here, 1% of the population is asexual, so that's 1 in every 100 people. Then, you know, there's a chance that I could find an asexual guy on there, right? Because a lot of asexuals, they don't realise they're asexual, you know, till something happens in their life. For example, someone wants to have sex with them and they realise, I think differently to that. I feel differently to that. I'm not really into that. It doesn't really do anything for me. That's kind of when you start exploring more things about yourself on the internet, and you come up usually with asexuality if you are doing research about it. So but I believe that there's someone for everyone out there, and I believe that, you know, you can find the right person for you, and that sometimes the person you might find in the most strangest of places you didn't expect to find them. So I think it's important, if you are an asexual who is trying traditional dating sites as well, to hold your boundaries, hold your standards high. Don't accept second best. Be yourself. Explain you don't want sex. If they ignore it, that's their problem, not yours, right? Just be very careful and proceed with caution, right? And know what you're getting yourself into. So this guy messaged me 4 months ago. You know, like a kind of traditional standard heterosexual dating chat up type of line. So he's like, "Hey babes, how's your Eve? ? You are stunning," with a face with 2 hearts. Wow, hope you don't mind me saying kiss kiss. Happy New Year to you, kiss kiss. So this must have been obviously around New Year, because 4 months ago. And I put, "Thanks, but I hate sex, good luck," right? So I didn't hear anything more from him till last night, which was about 18 hours ago. Then he put, "Hey," with a kiss. I thought, here we go again. So I put, "I still hate sex, good luck." And then he's like, "Not all about that though." And I put, "I don't like that at all though." And then he's put, that's fine. What about kissing? And I'm like, I only enjoy kissing if I am clothed. And then he's put, can't beat a nice kiss though with a kiss. So good. And I'm like, yeah, kissing does everything for me, but sex does nothing for me. At which point I knew this guy would fancy me even more, because for some reason when I say this type of stuff to sexual guys, it seems to really turn them on when I talk about kissing, and I'm just talking about kissing, nothing else. Right, so therefore, there he goes. There's he's off. There he goes. Fairs, I like kissing better, so we're good. Kiss. Does my age bother you? Kiss. I think you're so hot. Kiss. Obviously, clearly, he's not asexual when he's going around saying, I think you're so hot. Well, I mean, asexuals can think someone's hot, but they usually just will say you're aesthetically hot, or hot, I want to kiss you, not usually just hot. Do you know what I mean? If asexuals ever say that. I do think some guys are hot aesthetically and I want to snug their face off, but I don't want to kiss them. Liam, one thing I never believed in there was a someone for everyone. Ah, right, Liam, you never believed that. I do, but you see, I believe in soulmates. But you have to have another person that believes in soulmates. Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, not everyone wants a relationship. You said clearly that you don't ever want a relationship in your life, and that's fine. There's lots of aromantic asexuals, you know, those that lack romantic attraction, that don't want a relationship and lack sexual attraction. That's okay. That's fine. But I personally believe in soulmates, you know, and I've got to have another person come into my life that also believes in soulmates, because unless the other person believes it, it's not going to happen for me. Do you know what I mean? Well, I might still think I have one, just I can't meet him in this life. Maybe I'll meet him in another one, or I've already had him in a previous one or something. You know, so, and some people, some dating coaches, especially, they believe there's more than one person for people. There's not just one specific person, there's lots. Whereas I usually believe there's an ultimate soulmate, you know. But I have got very, very close asexual friends that are kind of like friend soulmates to me in a way, which I haven't had before, because I'm really close to two asexuals, particularly, who come on the stream a lot, you know. Well, particularly one of them, Sam, who's my bestest ever friend. You know, really close to Sam, and Andy's my other best friend. We're all best friends together, the three of us. And then I've got my friend Debs, who is not asexual, but I'm really close to her as well in lots of ways. Not the same ways, because she's not asexual. So, and yeah, and she's female. And so, and I do tend to fancy like my male friends, because I don't experience platonic attraction, so I don't get attracted to women at all, but I can get attracted to my male friends, even though they're not attracted to me, or not in the same way. Do you know what I mean? Just happens. I just got used to it by now. So yeah, it's kind of strange not experiencing platonic attraction, but that's me. So, but yeah, so I personally believe that I believe I have an Indian soulmate. I always have believed that since 2014. Not before then, but 2014. I think my soulmate's Indian. Whether I meet him in this lifetime or not, I don't know. But I mean, there was an asexual guy talking to me yesterday, and he seemed really nice in the UK, but he hasn't spoke to me since. But he's new to this channel. I guess he's new to knowing about me, and I do work a lot of hours and I've had chill out time today as well. So, so yeah, but I'd like to hear your opinion, Liam. If you don't think there's someone for everyone, then obviously I respect your opinion and choice. What upset me a while ago, actually, was I've got an Indian guy friend who lives in India. I've been friends with him online for a very long time now, and he usually phones me every like Christmas or New Year. And I've met his friends, and he's met my parents on camera, and he says stuff like, how do you know I'm not your soulmate? He says to me, because he knows I like Indian guys. But then he really upset me, because like he's saying that to me on video chat, but then when I posted on my Facebook once about soulmates, he came in my specific comments thread and said I don't believe in soulmates. I thought, well, that's not what you've been implying to me in video chat. And I was quite upset, because there was another asexual girl on my Facebook friends, and she's like, oh yeah, I agree with you, to him. And I was thinking, well, why are you saying that to me on camera that maybe you're my soulmate, he is, because I know he'd like a relationship with me. He's made that perfectly clear if he lived in the UK. He's always been like that with me, you know, and he's the type of guy that probably could live without sex because he's quite spiritual. I don't think he's had a girlfriend. I've never seen him with a girlfriend. He used to like a lot of girls, but I think he's more spiritual than lusting after girls like he used to be. I think he's more like gone that way now. But I don't really know him that well, you know, as well as I'd like, because he's not open enough. But, you know, it's like, how can you say to me in private message, oh, like private video chat, oh, maybe I'm your soulmate? Then clearly he doesn't believe in soulmates. It's ridiculous. You can't have someone who's your soulmate unless they believe also that they're your soulmate and they believe in soulmates. Liam, I know you'll find your romantic soulmate because you're a beautiful soul. Oh, thank you. Lots of love to you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's really kind of you to say that. Really kind. Really, really lovely. So yeah, it's really nice. Thank you. But it does take another beautiful soul to recognize that, I guess. And yeah, I still have hope. I still have hope. Yeah, I am really romantic girl. I mean, a guy who loves affection and romance, he's gonna really be having a field day with me because I'm super romantic girl. Probably one of the most romantic girls a guy's ever likely to meet. You know, I even had an asexual guy on ASAP tell me that he wasn't interested in a relationship with me, but he did say you're the most romantic girl I've ever met in my life. Like, because I was telling him about what romance means to me, because he's like, what does romance mean to you, Sandra? Then I decide to reel off a lot of stuff, and he's like, oh, I think you must be the most romantic girl I've ever met in my life. I'm like, yeah, probably. So, you know, he'll get like, just like, he's got like the same sort of stuff as me though, because it wouldn't work. He's got love kissing and love cuddling and love like public displays of affection all the time. But I mean, I had that with my heterosexual ex, the last long term one I had, you know, a lot of things weren't great there, but I did have a lot of, you know, in general, overall, the time I was with him, I did have a lot of public displays of affection, which I really liked. So I know it's possible to get that. You know, you just got to have someone else that feels the same way, really, and is a good person, not a bad person. So with this guy, I said clearly on Mingle, he's not asexual. And he's like, I think you're so hot. So he asked me what I thought of his age, right? And on his profile, he says he's 31. That's what he says on his profile, basically. And then he's like, I put, well, you are a bit older than what I would usually go for. So what would you do to convince me we may be suited? So I thought, I'm going to carry this conversation on with him. I'll see what he says. I'll turn it on him and like basically want to know why he's continuing the conversation if I don't like sex, and obviously why does he think we'll be suitable? But I said it in the age range way. And he's like, what do you normally go for? I'm 30, kiss. He said 31 in his profile. They do that a lot on Mingle. You've got to be very careful with these guys that lie about their age, right? Because if they said on their profile they're one age and they're clearly a different age, you know, that's already not telling you the truth. How can you trust a guy who's like that, right? So that's the first red flag. And then he's like, I don't know. So he's like, I don't know, but you interest me and I want to get to know you, kiss. And I put, I usually go for 21 to 24 years, mostly. Ha ha, you like younger guys then? Ha, I like an older woman. Don't know what it is. Kiss. And I put, yeah, I love younger guys. Such better kisses usually and more romantic too. It's true, like I much prefer younger guys. Usually they're much more romantic, much more into kissing and cuddling, much more into having fun and being bubbly and lively, much more suited to my personality, really. Young, bubbly, lively, like going out cinema, like going out clubbing, like actually talking and having fun. Do you know what I mean? So I put, yeah, I love younger guy. Oh yeah, I told you that. Such better kiss and more romantic. And he's like, ha ha ha. I'm Indian too. Ha, kiss kiss. Because he knows, I think I put my profile particularly like Indian guys. Yep, I love being romantic. Kiss kiss, he said. So I put, oh, Indian is my top aesthetic attraction. Notice I said aesthetic attraction, where he's saying I'm hot. And he's like, ha ha, I'm all Indian, baby. I'm yours, kiss kiss. Now, this is a type of language highly sexual guys use when they're just they try and like be familiar with you, even though you're not in a relationship. So they talk kind of like they are in a relationship with you. I've noticed this with sexual guys a lot. So you can either play along with it if you want to, but it is kind of a bit fake in some ways, you know what I mean? Or you can like just tell the person to get lost, whichever you prefer, really. So he goes, ha ha ha, I'm all Indian, baby, I'm yours. And that kiss kiss, I put, oh, I love Indian guys, not to have sex with, to snog, I put. And of course he'll love this because sexuals seem to actually really love snogging, and it seems to really turn them on. And so just be amazing about snogging. I know he'll like that, even though it's me being myself, right? And he's like, ha ha, is snog you all day, loads of French kissing. Kiss, kiss, kiss. This is him to me. And I put French kissing is my favourite type of kissing. Last the Indian guy was tongue kissing me for at least an hour. So, I mean, this is true. I mean, sometimes I can't decide, to be honest, whether I actually want a relationship or not. I mean, in theory, I really do want a relationship if I find the right asexual guy for me, which I keep believing he's an Indian guy, you know? He might not be. I did joke to my best friend Sam, that no, not he, sorry, he's not a he anymore. They, damn it, I got their pronouns wrong. They can tell me off later. I did say to them that they'll probably end up with an Indian guy. Probably my other best friend Andy will, and I'll end up with a British guy. That would be quite funny. Anything's possible, isn't it? But I really like Indian guys. I really fight for them particularly. So anyway, then this Indian guy on Mingle was going, babe, I want to do that with you. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Would be so good. Bet you're such a good kisser too. See, some asexuals would not be very confident, but I'm a very confident asexual person because I can get loads of guys. I mean, loads of guys are interested in me at the sexual. I just get them interested in me all the time. I'm kind of used to this guys saying all this stuff about me, and saying this usual stuff. It's kind of like same old, same old. It'd be nice to find a different guy who was asexual, who really loved kissing like I do. But I live in hope. So this person saying, I've said the last Indian guy knew I would not have sex with him, and there were certain places he was not allowed to touch. Now, this what he says next is very common of sexual guys, right? Highly sexual in particular, who seem to always be attracted to me. So he's put, that's cool. I don't mind kissing. I have no boundaries, so touch me where you feel comfortable. Right? Don't forget, this is all over the internet. I mean, this is all hypothetical rubbish, you know, a lot of the time. I wouldn't say it was rubbish if I was talking to an asexual guy who lived near me and I was actually wanting to meet up to kiss him when the lockdown's over and we got to know each other via video chat. But this isn't an asexual guy. This is a sexual guy. And you know, and sexual guys usually just like, every time I've dated a heterosexual guy, the heterosexual guy's always been like, oh, you can do with me what you want, and like, here's my body, do with it what you will. In some ways it's good because it's like, well, I don't have to worry about what I do to them. I can pretty much do what I like. But in other ways it's kind of like, okay, yeah, you say that to all the women. Like, your body's probably been amongst like 500,000 women or something by now. So yeah, but in some ways it's good, in some ways it's really not good. So most of all, it's not good. So then I put, well, he couldn't stop kissing me. I'm now talking about the Indian guy in the club, because this Indian guy was saying, I bet you're a good kisser. So I said, well, he couldn't stop kissing me even when the lights went on after we finished kissing on the dance floor. So I guess he enjoyed my sweet kisses. So then he put, if snog your face off for ages. And then he put, so he's kind of carrying on the conversation about what he was saying earlier, kind of like our messages are kind of like not quite meet each other before the other speaks. And then he said, if snog your face off for ages, so you're so hot, with 3 kisses. I put, he was a lucky boy. And again, these guys, they love this type of talk, you know, it just turns them on even more and they just get more intrigued. They're like, oh, you know, because they expect a woman to go, really? Oh, you want to kiss me? Oh, you think I'm a good kisser? Oh, really? Because they expect a woman to kind of be like not confident. So I'm just really confident. If you ever are dating a sexual guy, you just need to be really confident. You need to be very, very confident in yourself and your boundaries and the fact you're asexual. You really just need to be totally confident, and whatever he says, you just need to know your worth, and that there's loads of guys out there for you. You know, you'll notice this always comes from a place of not lack, but a place of plentifulness. You know, it's like I get guys interested in me all the time, so I behave like that when I'm talking to this guy. It's very important, because otherwise sexual guys can run rings around you. Yeah, you want the guy to know that you're a strong person, that you really are, you know, quite capable of getting a lot of people after you, and that person's very lucky they're even speaking to you right now. This is the attitude you need to take, one of positivity and of really appreciating your own self-worth, you know. And so I put, he was a lucky boy, and then he's put, I'm jealous, kiss kiss, I want that with you, kiss kiss. And I put, now this is not something I usually put, but if in psychology, right, in human psychology, I learn't a thing called mirroring, right? And I thought, oh, hi, my life. No, I don't have Discord. So anyway, so in human psychology, you can do a thing called mirroring, and it's very good if you're doing dating and stuff like that, if you're selling anything and stuff like that. So if you do a job, right, and your job is retail sales or selling anything, if you do mirroring, something called mirroring, in other words, you match the body language of the person who's talking to you, they're more likely to buy from you. Something I've been in retail for like most of my life, and I learned it through a lot of videos I watch as well. So if you're talking to a sexual, they kind of talk to you like you're already in a relationship with them when they're not. And this used to confuse the hell out of me years ago, probably because I was asexual and didn't realise it. And I used to take everything literally at face value, right? So if a guy was saying this type of thing to me years ago, I would have thought, oh, I'm the only girl in the world that he really likes, and he's just talking to me, and he wants a relationship with me, and I'm not naive like that anymore. I know these guys are just chatting up thousands of women probably like this, or at least a very, very lot, you know, and they're just saying all this type of thing to a lot of women. Sadly, it's true. And so you can either go with the flow, or you can just cut the conversation. But the best thing is, you're like, especially if it's online, you're in control of the whole situation, right? You're in control of what you say and what you do. So you can either mirror back what they say, or you can just carry on exactly talking out like you would usually talk, or you can get rid of them, whatever you want to do. So I decided to play along with the game that he was playing, because sadly sexuals play games a lot. And so he put, I want that with you, kiss kiss. So I use the word baby, right? And this is something you can do even if you're confident like I am, which a lot of asexuals won't even go to nightclubs or do anything like I do because I'm extroverted, right? But you can, you know, the guy will usually start calling you his baby and stuff like that, and it can be really creepy. But you can either go along with it, or you can just tend to get lost, whatever you feel like. But you're in control of the situation, right? It's your life, your body, your mind. You do what you want. So anyway, when he said, I want that with you, I put, oh, baby, if only, huh? Now, see what I mean? It means that you keep control of the situation. You're like kind of teasing the person, saying, oh, if only you could do that. But you know, you can't. And then he's like, I need your kisses now, kiss, kiss. Lots of tongue. You got any more photos? Love what I see so far. So usually when guys ask for photographs, it means that they're after nudes. So you know, you don't want to be giving nudes. My life. I love psychology. By the way, I'm making my own online furry, My Little Pony, Serian, and other kin convention. I just came on here to say hi before I eat. Oh, have a nice dinner. Lovely to see you. Have a nice time. Thanks for coming on. So back to this. So I put again. So he was on about photographs, right? So I said, so obviously you've got to be aware of people with photographs. Usually they want to see nudes and stuff like that, which I am definitely not ever showing a guy. None of my heterosexual exes asked me that. So why would some random person I give that type of thing to? So this person, I said to them after they said about photographs, that's from photographs, I hate sex and I'm sexy enough without taking sexy pics. Not interested in taking those sort of photographs. So, you know, if you want to be kind of like very confident in yourself, you know, just because you're asexual doesn't mean to say you're not sexy. I mean, loads of guys find me sexy, even though I don't want sex. That's their opinion of me, right? So I just know what guys usually think of me. So I said, do you know, I'm sexy enough without taking those sort of photographs, which is totally true, right? You don't need to take nude photographs to be sexy. Loads of guys fancy me just for my face. I don't really understand that. It's just my head and shoulder shot. It's just me smiling. Guys seem to get really horny over seeing my face. I'm like, okay, whatever. So he's put, no, your face, honey, kiss, kiss. That's what I want to see. And he goes, you are a babe. I'm kind of used to all this language. I pay no attention very much. As I thought, I just think it's quite funny. So I sent him a picture of me with my birthday banner around, birthday sash around me. It was quite funny. I just sent that. See, no sex whatsoever. Big biceps. So I thought, you probably can't even see my biceps, but I got big biceps, especially for a female. So he put, fit as hell, baby. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I'm like, how can you tell? I'm just, you go, I like a lot. And so I put, yes, you send me a pic too, please. But this guy looks just older, right? And he was wearing, I'll show you from afar. I won't show you his name on here because I don't think that's right. But this is a picture. I mean, he does look a bit older, to be honest, than I would usually go for. And anyway, you'll notice he's wearing really smart clothes. So me not being sexual, but being asexual, it's liking clothes. Liam, you are sexy, and that's coming from an asexual and aromantic. Lots of love, Liam. Oh, thank you. I am kind of like laughing and smiling now. Oh, thank you. I don't think I've had an aromantic asexual ever say that to me before. That's very, very nice of you. Sometimes I think, like, if I meet an asexual guy who's in a relationship with me, are they going to end up wanting sex? I know that you're not, asexuals in general don't want sex, but I seem to attract the more sexual end of the asexual spectrum anyway. And I'm thinking, I might get with the guy who's asexual, then all of a sudden he might just get really sexually attracted to me and want sex, like end up being demisexual or something, because I seem to like get guys, like even gay guys fancy me. I'm like, how can gay guys fancy me? Even gay guys think I'm attractive and hot. I've been told that, but I'm like, oh no, I don't understand. It's like, I don't get it, but thank you. It's nice, I guess. But yeah, that's I don't know what to say, Liam. Thank you. Lots of love. It's really, really nice. Really, really, really nice. Obviously, some people on the aromantic spectrum can still want, if you're pure aromantic, majority of the time, most aromantic asexuals don't want a relationship. Obviously, aromanticism is a huge spectrum as well. So you can get like demi-romantic, pure romantic, grey romantic as well. So I don't know if you're pure, what they call like pure aromantic, like 100% totally aromantic, or if you've got if you're grey aromantic, or a cupia romantic, or demi romantic at all. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much. Yeah, so yeah, but I mean, I know one of my gay friends years ago said that I have a sexual aura about me, and they said it's a good job they're not asexual. They were younger, and then yeah, there's a guy I have who's my friend who looks into guys who says I'm hot, and a friend apparently who's gay says I'm hot, and I'm like, gay guys think I'm hot. I'm like, oh well, I just must be universally good looking to all ages and genders for some reason. I have had women in clubs as well fancying me. It was so funny when I was out with my best friend Sam, and we were with another asexual friend. This woman came over to me and wasn't interested in either of my best friend or the other person who was a guy asexual. They were just said something about me that I'm looking good. I just thought it's funny. I'm not into women at all, but I just thought this is really funny because normally the women would be looking at the guys. Do you know what I mean? It's just quite hilarious. But yeah, so, and because I'm asexual, right, I am not really thinking about, obviously I'm not thinking about sex with him, so I'm not really thinking so much of his body. So he's put, I hope you like, with a kiss, and I put interesting clothes. I was thinking the only thing that's really good looking on that is the clothes. This is not the type of thing that sexuals would usually say. Sexuals would usually say, oh yeah, you're so hot and horny, or something silly like that. But because I'm asexual, I'm just interested in his clothes. I'm like, okay, yeah, I like your clothes, but And he's like, ha ha, night out that was. And I put, he's put, I like to dress well, kiss, kiss. And I'm like, where to? And he's like, a work ball. And I like, that's great. Where do you work? He's like, I work in sales and insurance. And you, question mark. So when's the last time you was romantic with someone? He's asking me. So he's kind of writing a few questions at once. So I put, I'm a published author with my own publishing company, an online trainer and an online trainer. It should be up at training and YouTuber. And he's put, oh my God, nice. Send a link. We'd love to watch. I sent him a link to this channel. I put last time in person when I went clubbing before lockdown because he was asking me when I was last romantic with a guy. And I sent him a link to this channel. I think I sent the right one. Yeah. I doubt he'll tune in. And he's like, oh, if I saw you out, I'd defo approach you with a kiss. So I put, I'm hetero asexual and help asexuals like me on a global scale. Well, you live miles away from me. He's carrying this on. I know, but could always visit. I don't mind for those lips. Wow, would be worth it. Kiss. Oh my God. I was kind of really laughing at this point. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. But I know sexual guys would travel miles. So I've had it before. You know, they usually travel miles for sex. And I think obviously if he traveled miles, he would be wanting more than kissing. But he definitely wouldn't have got more than kissing if it ever happened, which it's not going to. I can't see him ever doing that type of thing. Well, especially not with him. I'm not saying it'll never happen with any person, but in this scenario with him, yeah. So I put, I wouldn't meet up with a guy I haven't video chat with over Facebook Messenger first. Now, notice I was very specific. Now, I've said before that you should always ask the guy to connect with you on Facebook because you should be aware of any guy that says they're not on Facebook or is not prepared to show you their Facebook profile because it means they got stuff to hide. For all you know, they could be married, have children or whatever. You don't want to be getting into a scenario when you end up in any way, shape or form attached or involved with a guy who's already got a partner, right? You don't want that, right? And I specifically now ask them for Facebook to check them out. I tell them I'm checking them out. So, you know, I didn't used to say that before. But now, so anyway, he said we could do that for sure with a kiss because I said about video chatting. And I put, what is your Facebook so I can check you out? And he's put, and then he's told me his name. And you find me. So he's putting his name, then kiss. You find me, kiss, kiss. Now, when I went onto Facebook, right, his profile, the latest picture on there that I could see was 2016. And he looked older. I mean, he says he's 30 and it says on here he's 31. And then when I looked at his profile, he does look older, like I wouldn't usually go for. 2016. I mean, he looked like 31 or more. You know, he even looks about 38. He just really looks too old for me. Now, I like younger guys, right? And anyway, the fact that all I can see is 2016 and he hasn't posted anything or I can't see what he's posted for 4 years is a huge red flag alarm bell, right? If you ever get this, it's usually because the guy has got another profile somewhere else, right? He's usually got a second profile. So don't let these type of guys fool you, okay? This is like, beware of these type of guys, right? So I found an old profile by that name, but no posts in a long time. What's your most recent profile? You see, I'm not stupid. And then he's like, oh, that's my stuff is on private. Kiss. What's your name? I'll find you. And I put, well, if a guy can't share his profile with me, that's not comfortable for me. And then he put add me then with a kiss, but I didn't. I just left the conversation before I even saw that add me then with a kiss. I just left it because at the end of the day, you know, if a guy wants to kiss my lips, one of the most precious, sacred places of my body, then the least he can do is share his profile with me if he wants me to share my lips with him and my mouth. Do you see what I'm saying? So if he can't be asked to do that, then he can forget it. His loss. So anyway, I didn't message him back after that. I just when I say that's not comfortable for me, I just went off there thinking, yeah, that's enough of that. That's enough sexual talk for tonight. So yeah, and then it was really interesting because I'm in sexual groups. I call them sexual groups, traditional dating groups on Facebook, which is full of sexual people, right? And one of them has a guy who's said he was an admin, but he's a moderator of one of the groups I'm in. And I thought he seems new there because he's literally trying to clean up the group, which is a good thing. And he the other day messaged me and said, oh, I just want to say hi, which I thought was very bizarre. Usually guys do not do that unless they're interested in you, right? And he goes, oh, I'm the admin of such and such a group. And I'm like, okay, thanks for saying hi, basically. And so tonight he messaged me again, excuse me, because I noticed he'd been cleaning up the group. And tonight he messaged me again and he said, I just want to let you know I've took those comments away, those shit comments people were making under your post, which I thought was nice because I'm asexual. Some people write horrible stuff on there because I put I'm asexual, don't want sex, and some people write nasty stuff. So he's actually removed those comments, he said, which was really nice. And then he started talking about his own personal life story, right? And then I thought to myself, I'm sure the picture in the photograph that he's got on his own profile is not actually real, right? It looks fake. So I didn't say fake to him. I said, I don't think the guy in your profile's you, is it? And he said, it is me, but 16 years ago. Now I'm 40 and fat. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? It's like, be yourself. So you've got to be aware of these people that put profiles on, pictures on there that look nothing like them from years ago. That's the reason why it's good to ask for another head and shoulders shot, not a photograph where people expect nudes or dicks or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end, and it's most important to video chat with them. Do not ever meet up with someone without video chatting. In this day and age with the internet, the guy can't be asked to just download an app, learn how to use a camera on his phone and actually video chat with you. Don't bother with him. Right? This is a different society we live in. This is the 21st century now. We're modern, right? I've even done a blog training with people. I had an 80-year-old woman who could use Photoshop better than I could on a computer. Do you know what I'm saying? There's people who are older that are blogging, that got their own Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts. If a guy cannot be asked to actually download an app and know how to work a camera or buy a webcam for like 40 quid, he's not worth your time, energy and effort, right? This is the 21st century we live in. You know, for your own security, you should be video chatting with any guy, however nice they are, however sweet, however kind, because you do not know what they're like. They might not even be a guy. They might be, or they might be a guy that's a lot older. I had a guy on Facebook start messaging me, and then he switched his video on, and he was like, nearly 30 years older he looked than he did in his picture, you know? And he was being disgusting and I blocked him, you know? And so you've got to be very, very careful of these people, you know? So you've got to be very aware. Now, this guy was obviously being nice to me in the sense that he'd removed people's comments about being horrible about me being asexual. And he started saying, I'm like you in some ways, but different. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, because I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm looking for someone I'm not looking for sex or a girl, but I am looking for someone I can talk to. So then whilst he was talking to me, he was explaining that a woman broke his heart who cheated on him. That's why he's not actually interested in sex anymore. He's not asexual. He said he's straight, but you know, his wife cheated on him. And so he's finding that really difficult. I'm not going to go into the conversation because it's private and I was, you know, being there for him in that moment. But clearly he seems interested in me as well because, you know, I can tell he wants to talk to me, and he started asking me my age. The only time I ever get asked my age is by a guy who really fancies me and interested in me being in a relationship with him. And then he started talking about, oh, but you don't like foreigners anyway, I don't think. And it's like, that's actually not true. I prefer foreign guys to British guys in general. In general, I'm saying, but it doesn't mean to say I'm going to end up with a foreign guy, does it? You know, ideally, I prefer foreign guys. Liam, sorry, let me read more of your messages. Your comments in chat. You have got me thinking about the other romantic orientations, but I'm pretty sure I am aromantic. Liam, online dating is mostly full of people that has nothing honest about them. That's why I wouldn't bother. Yeah, I mean, I didn't used to bother, Liam, at all, you know? I didn't used to bother for a long time. I said there's no point because you're asexual. What's the point? Because they'll all want sex. But I've been on asexual dating sites now since 2014. So that's 6 years and I still haven't found the right asexual guy for me yet. And it's kind of like the same people usually on there most of the time. And it's like, well, I either carry on doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same result, or I try some other things besides doing that. So I'm still on the asexual dating sites. I'm still on the ASAP. There was an asexual guy who was talking to me yesterday really, really well. And then, I haven't heard from him today. He's friends with me on Facebook now. He started watching this channel, which is amazing. I actually thought he's quite beautiful in his face. We had some stuff in common, but I haven't heard from him, and I don't want to be the person who goes around chasing the guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, the thing with sexual guys is they do chase after you. And it seems to be like, well, I'm asexual, but just because I'm asexual doesn't mean to say I don't want a guy chasing after me, because I actually like a guy. When I say chasing, I don't mean like claustrophobic suffocation, but I mean, I like a guy messaging me like, oh, hey, lovely to talk to you yesterday. How are you today? And carry on the conversation, continuity, persistence, consistence, because I can't get to know any guy for a potential relationship unless I know them over a long period of time as a really good friend first. You can't be really good friends with the guy first unless he actually talks to you, and I do like some traditional stuff, male and female stuff, where I don't mind making the first move. I don't mind messaging the guy sometimes, but I want him to like kind of go after me. Like, there's some things about sexuals. Well, there's lots of things about sexuals that I don't like, in sense that I hate sex and nudity, but the way they actually go, the way they actually pursue, actually message you a lot and take an interest and want to talk to you. But obviously, sadly, it's sex behind it. I just wish there were more asexual guys that were really, really, well, I only need one really, don't I, that was interested in actually having a conversation, getting to know me and want an actual relationship. I'm like, hey, I actually do want a relationship with you. You know what I mean? Instead of, like a really strong guy for me, but I haven't met that type of guy yet. So, and my problem is I really adore kissing, like public displays of affection. And like kissing, I really, really love it, like so much. And a lot of asexual guys don't really like that much, and so I find it very, very difficult. So, I don't mind snogging sexual guys as long as they don't need to sex, but I can't be in a relationship with one usually because they need sex in the end and they'll just cheat. So it's very difficult, Sometimes I'm thinking, Sandra, maybe it's just better for you to stay single, go clubbing when you can. Obviously, I can't at the moment. Just kiss some foreign guys, go home and not worry about it, because then you don't have the stress or worry about being in a relationship with a sexual who pretty much is going to cheat on you. Likely, 9 times out of 10 they will. Then you don't have that, and you can still get your kisses, because I do need kisses. Like I decided last year, because I've been on asexual dating sites since 2014, which was around April, May time, I think it was. So it's been 6 years now, but in November last year, I think it was around November last year. So around, like 5.5, coming up towards 6 years, I decided I'd let myself kiss guys in a specific club that I feel really safe around, that's got security guards. And if I wanted to, any foreign guys I like, because I'm like, well, I'm probably going to be single for years. I don't see me getting a partner anytime soon. I haven't got any asexual guys interested in a relationship. Nearly all my asexual friends are into guys, not into women, and at least not the way I look. And they want different things in a relationship to me, and so in a romantic relationship way. So, I could be here for years not having kisses, and for me, I really need kissing. So I've decided to change the rules with myself with that consciously, and I don't know if that's just better for me, just to stay single, because I have relationship anxiety anyway. And just when I go out clubbing, kiss some guys, and then they go home and I go home, and that's the end of it, because until I find the right asexual guy that's really like strong, I know he wants to be in a relationship with me, and I know it's not just he's saying that for like 2 months, he means it forever, like continuously, year after year, because he really adores and loves me. Until I get that type of situation, there's no point in getting into a relationship, because unless a guy's serious about me, I don't want that. I don't want to like have my heart torn in two by some guy who's like, oh, I'll be in a relationship with you for 5 minutes, then like that's it, I'm off now. I'm not interested in that. I'd rather have kissing with guys I'm not going to be directly having a relationship with than get with someone who's just using me for a short time. I kind of like, I used to always think that the guy I kissed would be the guy I would be in a relationship with like forever. But that was bad thinking for me, because it meant that any guy I kissed them I had to be in a relationship with, even if they were no good. Not thinking about the amount of guys that do kiss people in clubs and don't really mean anything by it other than enjoying the kissing. So I've kind of like tried to change myself a bit on that. In the sense I allow that to happen now, but it's conscious, like, you know, only if I want to and I feel comfortable enough to do so. But I'm very boundary driven. I'm like, don't touch my breasts, basically. Don't put your hands all over my ass, you know. Don't do those type of things, you know. So it's really difficult for me, because I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate with the guy's upper body, not below the waist. I'm very sensual, asexual. I'm very erogenous in a lot of ways, you know, which is kind of like weird for me to say, because, you know, I don't fit kind of in an exact asexual specific stereotypical box, I don't think, you know. So with the guy's upper body, you know, like, you know, like I like really snogging his face off, like stroking his hair, like, you know, like breathing in his ear, which guys really love, you know, like kissing the back of his ear, kissing his neck, even licking, kissing and sucking his nipples. Don't need him to do that to mine. And his chest, but not below the waist. It's like, no. And arms and all that type of thing, you know, sitting on his lap, sitting between his legs, cuddling him, all that type of thing I love. Bodies intertwined with clothes on. It's kind of like quite erogenous, but I have no desire for sex, no sexual attraction, zero diddly squat. So it's kind of like my behavior doesn't really necessarily match my asexual identity. But as we know, that sexual behavior is not the same as sexual attraction. An asexual person can have no sexual attraction yet still have some sexual behavior, you know, like some gays do have sex with other people, you know, with straight guys, you know, and some you know, some straight guys do have sex with gay guys, you know, but it doesn't make them gay. Yeah, it's kind of like, I think asexuality, like I always say, is a journey of discovery. And, you know, I don't mind a guy finding me sexy and hot. It's kind of nice, but I don't want him to have sex with me, you know. So if a guy calls me sexy and hot, I'm like, that's nice. But, you know, he's probably calling 55,000 other women that as well. And it's just like, whatever. If an asexual guy says I look cute, an asexual guy says I'm beautiful, if an asexual guy says I'm pretty, then that means a lot more to me, because I know in general, they're a lot less likely to say that to a ton of different women. I'm not saying all asexuals are like that. I know a few asexuals that are kind of asexual womanizers. But in general, in my experience, if an asexual guy says it to me, it's because they genuinely mean it. They're not just going around saying it to like 50 women. They actually mean that I look beautiful. They actually mean I look cute, you know? And I want to be desired by a guy in the physical kissing sense, but not the sex sense. So again, that's very difficult for me. You know, as a very sensual upper body asexual person, has a very erogenous upper body asexual person with the guy's body, not with my upper body. Like, you know, you can not touch that. And I just touch my face, kiss my lips, have your hands around my back, that's fine. You know, and so I find it very, very difficult. It's kind of like, I've got sexual behavior but no sexual attraction. I have high arousal levels but no sexual attraction. I love snogging like for up to 3 hours, for example, but have no sexual attraction. I like kissing like a favorite hobby. I would rather kiss than watch TV any day. It's much more exciting and pleasurable, you know. I find, you know, like doing random, it's kind of like saying, like, you know, watching TV is very boring. Kissing for me is really exciting, you know. And I like kissing in public. There's something kind of like really satisfying about kissing in public, you know. It's kind of like asexual naughty, kind of like naughty girl, innocent naughty girl stuff. Like, oh, I'm kissing in public, people can see me. Oh, that type of thing, you know. And I like younger guys, much younger guys, you know. So I was kind of like, I just think that I'm trying something different. I've done the same thing for 5.5 or 6 years now, being on asexual dating sites, not really getting anywhere. So if you don't change what you're doing, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you get the same results. So I'm on some groups on Facebook that are traditional dating groups, but there might be some asexuals. And I've already seen a female asexual in one of them that I'm in, who's in, obviously I'm not attracted to females, but she's in one of my groups and she's in one of those groups. So I try to go on Mingle. I've been on Plenty of Fish like a while ago, so I don't want to go on that one again, which is really bad anyway. I'm not saying this one's good, but for some reason I seem to be okay being on this for some reason. And also I kind of want to do it for research because I am launching a new brand called Erogenicity this year. I've got the domain and everything, which is kind of exciting and really scary at the same time because I've mentioned it on this channel, so I'm not being dishonest about it. You know, I've told you I've got an erogenous side. Obviously that channel's gonna have a lot more sexuals following me on it, so I don't know how that's going to work out because I don't like sex for me, but I don't mind if other people want to have it. And I do know a lot about erogenous zones and erogenous stuff because I used to be in heterosexual relationships for half of my life, you know, and I kind of know what to say, what to do just naturally. So that's kind of weird because this is an asexual naturally knows how to be erogenous and what turns a guy on, if you like. And it's kind of like because of my experience in the past. And so that's kind of all really, really weird and strange for me. I do find these things difficult sometimes. You know, I don't fit into a stereotypical asexual box. When I do the erogenicity brand, it's going to be very, very difficult for me because it's kind of like I am still asexual. I'm still for asexuals. I'll always be for asexuals. But obviously some asexuals might be like, why is she doing that? Because that channel's going to be much more sexual than this channel. And I'm on here saying I don't like sex. I'll be on that channel talking about more sexual stuff. So it's like kind of how is that going to work out? But I just have to trust that it's the right thing for me to do. I have to go with my instincts, you know, and I can help some sexuals to understand asexuality better through doing that, believe it or not, because I am going to be saying I'm asexual. Even though I'm going to have lots of sexuals probably on that channel, I'm going to be talking about asexuality sometimes. It's not going to be my main focus, obviously, but it will be me coming from a different perspective of dating relationships because I'm asexual and letting people who are on that channel know about asexuality, which potentially could reach thousands of more people because obviously sex is a hot topic and I need to be able to get the message of asexuality and what asexuality is to a really global audience. The only way I'm going to do that is by literally getting in the lines then, as it were, and talking more to sexuals about it, you know, because for me, I feel like I'm being really brave going in traditional dating groups on Facebook saying I'm asexual and this is what it means. I feel personally I'm being very brave. That is very brave for me as an inner human being person rather than talking about a professional concept. If I'm talking about me being Sandra Bellamy, you know, a little bit scared sometimes of doing stuff, putting myself out there, having courage. It does take courage to be able to say, hey, look, I'm asexual in a bunch full of like 3,000, you know, in one of the groups of man, there's like in Facebook, it's like 3,800 and something people in that group. And I'm posting a picture saying I'm after a non-sexual relationship, basically. I'm asexual and this is what it means. It takes courage to do that. Even though I do this channel, it still takes courage for me to do that as a human being. You know, being on Mingle, putting out there that I'm asexual, telling every guy that I come across that I don't want sex is courageous to me. You know, I'm even in the forums. I've even been on the forums and started forum threads about, is there anyone else that doesn't like sex here or doesn't want it? You know, so more people can understand and hear about asexuality. That's the only way I'm going to be able to help asexuals more is if I get to sexuals, if I talk and speak their language, which just means talking sexual stuff. Because I can do sexual stuff if I want to. I just don't want to anymore. And some stuff I don't mind doing, some sexual behaviour stuff, because like the kissing and some stuff's okay. I'm okay with. But the rest I don't want to do personally for me anymore. But I know how to do it because I've done it in the past. You know, so it's going to be kind of weird for me. I'm not sure how the erogenicity brand's going to go. I'm very, very scared about it. You know, I was thinking about it today. You know, I've got the brand name. I've had it for a year now. And it's kind of like, I'm scared. Like part of me is like, should I still do it? Shouldn't I do it? But I wouldn't have got the domain name if I wasn't serious about it. And it's such a good name that I've made, erogenicity, because it's all about being erogeneously generous with your partner, with or without sex. You don't have to have sex to be erogeneously generous with your partner. You know, so even though I do those videos I'm going to do on that channel, which will be far more sexual and they'll be more explicit in the titles because it'll be a different audience, I'll still be asexual, but I'll kind of like, I'll be talking about that type of stuff, And I came up with the concept of erogenous because I like passion without sex, right? And I love passion without sex, I'm very, very passionate girl. But like people like sex. And so I think erogenicity is the best type of brand name, because erogenicity, like I said, is all about being erogenously generous with your partner. And that can encompass a lot of things. It can even encompass talking. Because one of the erogenous zones is their mouth, but that doesn't necessarily mean to say just kissing it. It means talking and communication, which is a big part of relationships. There's a lot, there's I spoke to my best friend Sam about it, who's sex repulsed asexual, about me being scared about it and stuff, But like Sam said, there is a need for a different type of dating and relationship coach. There's a need for me because I come from a completely different perspective. Like, so many guys are taking advice from male dating coaches about how to get sex. So why are you taking advice from a male dating coach that knows sweet FA about a woman's body or a woman's mind or a woman's heart? No wonder they can't get what they want, and most sexuals are even having problems with relationships. Do you know what I mean? Liam, you're a very strong, brave woman. Love you, Sandra. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you, Liam. That's really nice. Thank you. Oh, bless you. Really, really sweet. So, it's going to be difficult. But I could see the erogenicity brand really taking off. I could see it on a lot of products, sexy products and sex products probably, but I don't want to say that. But I just think erogenicity is just such a beautiful brand name that I've created, and it's something I need to do. Maybe I'll find there's even more of an erogenous side to me that I never realized, and that is scary as well. I'm scared. I'm very scared at the moment because I am asexual. I don't want people thinking, oh, she's not asexual anymore because she's doing this, that, and the other. But there are asexuals that have jobs that make products for sexuals. I even had an interview years ago, Ann Summers, which is the lingerie shop that sells sex toys. I went for all the interview. I did all the group activities you have to do to pass, and then at the end of it, they're like, "Do you want the job?" And I was like, one of the questions was, "If you got offered the job, would you want it?" And I put no, and I'm like, "Why did you bother going all the way to have this interview, travel, and do all these like team stuff if you don't even want the job, Sandra?" Because I was like, "What the heck are you doing? You hate sex toys. You don't even use them. You've never even tried them. And you don't like sex, and you'll be saying pretty much loads of sex stuff. Why on earth would you even want to work there? Why on earth did you even come to the interview?" I mean, I was unemployed at the time, so kind of you have to go for job interviews really if they come along anyway. But I was kind of like, this is really weird. I feel really uncomfortable and I don't want to do this, But if I'm doing my own erogenicity brand, it's kind of coming from me. I'm in control of it, I can do as much or as little as I want. But I am very shocking. I like being taboo. I like being controversial. I like being shocking. So if I write titles, they'll be shocking titles. Asexuals be like, what? I'll just say, cover your eyes, asexuals, pass the sick bucket, probably. That's what I say to all the sex repulsed asexuals. Cover your eyes at the titles and pass yourself the sick bucket, because obviously I'm personally sex repulsed for me these days, but not other people. But I know, a lot of sex repulsed people, they'll just feel sick at the sight of some of those titles, maybe, in some of the language I'm using. But, in order for me to get through to sexuals, I need to be speaking their language anyway, and I can just speak it anyway. I haven't really got a problem talking about sex stuff. I've just got a problem with someone expecting or wanting me to do it specifically, because I don't want that. I don't see me ever doing that ever again in my life. As long as I can do it if I really want to, but I don't really want to. So that's the point, So I don't know how it's going to go. I have no idea. I am quite scared about doing that. Not every day, but a lot of the time I'm like, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Liam, you're someone I could get to miss as a person if you believe in missing someone you never met. Oh, bless you. Awesome love. Oh, that's really sweet. That's a very romantic thing to say, but you said you're not romantic. But that's a very romantic thing to say. I do know some aromantics can be romantic without even knowing it, though. Like, aromantics could, for example, like going for a candlelit dinner, but it'll just be like, well, I'm going for a candlelit dinner. The candles are nice. They look nice. They smell nice. They seem nice. And like the romantic asexual will be going, oh, that's so romantic, a candlelit dinner, and then the aromantic will be like, it's a candle. It looks nice and pretty. Do you know what I mean? So can you see how it can differ? So an actual aromantic person could be very, very romantic without meaning to be, because they don't, just because they don't experience romantic attraction doesn't mean to say they can't have romantic behavior. Just because I don't experience sexual attraction doesn't mean to say I can't have sexual behavior. So someone who's aromantic could still have romantic behavior without being romantic themselves. So yes, thank you very much for saying you could miss me. That's really sweet. Well, I miss people I've never met before. That's because I'm usually romantically attracted to them. Like if I talk to a guy, for example, I get attracted really easily because I don't experience platonic attraction, so I miss the stage of friendship usually in feelings. You know, like a lot of people have that initial, apart from sexuals, are just sexually attracted. Like someone would like get to know someone first. They'd have that kind of more platonic attraction to begin with, and then it would possibly develop into something more or not. With me, I don't have that platonic attraction. I didn't know that was romantic. So I could get missed as a person. Well, it's a very sweet thing to say, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. You may not think it's romantic. That's the thing. That is the only thing. I did a video a long time ago about aromantics versus romantics and how it can be difficult for a romantic to not know that the aromantic doesn't fancy them or is not romantic attracted to them, because an aromantic can have romantic behavior despite not experiencing romantic attraction. So I've had scenarios in the past where I've an aromantic guy I've been interested in romantically, and they have done things that I would consider are romantic, but they haven't, and would indicate they have some attraction for me or would like a relationship with me, but they don't, because they don't feel that way or think that way. But their behavior says to me, from experience of being a heteronormative world, that usually that behavior would be associated with wanting a relationship. So I always ask my friends, like my male friends particularly, because I'm not attracted to females, I always ask my male friends, please tell me that you don't want a relationship with me. So I know, because otherwise I experience no platonic attraction. And some of my guy friends do fancy me, but they can't be in a relationship with me because I'm not suitable for them in a romantic relationship. So sometimes it's really difficult. So it's better if my friends remind me, I can't be in a relationship with you, Sandra. I might like you as a friend, but you're not suitable. We're not suitable to be in a relationship together, that type of thing. Or I'm not romantically attracted to you. It's better for my friends to tell me that and remind me of that type of thing in a nice way, because otherwise I don't know, because I don't experience platonic attraction. So I kind of need it emphasizing sometimes, I kind of need reminders every so often, because some of the stuff you say, Liam, to me is you say certain stuff to me in the chat, and that would usually be, if I was saying that to someone, it because I fancy them. I'd be interested in a relationship with them. I'll be honest with you, because unless I say that to you, you don't know. You don't know how you come across to me. But because of the lovely words you say to me and the things you say, I would think if I didn't, because you told me you're not interested in a relationship, right? You made that clear, right? And you were like, oh, I never want a relationship, you've never had a crush, right? So I understand that you've told me, which is great, and just keep saying that sort of thing. But that was very in contrast to the words you say to me because I think they're very romantic, I fancy you words. Do you see what I mean? That's how it can be construed differently between aromantic asexuals and romantic asexuals. Do you know what I mean? Because I have aromantic people, but they don't usually say I look beautiful. They don't usually say I love you. Some of them do. Like some people do, because they love my personality. So I do get some people saying about, oh, I think you're lovely, Sandra. More times, I guess they say I think you're lovely, or I don't know. It's just the whole language you use, Liam, just comes across to me as a romantic asexual, that you would be interested in a relationship with me. But that's my personal, that's what I said about yesterday's video about I can't project myself or what I think onto other people. That is how it comes across to me as a romantic asexual, as instead of an aromantic. But some aromantics can be very friendly without realizing it is romantic, because they don't think it's romantic. They just think it's being nice, you know, and it is nice. I mean, it's lovely saying that I'm beautiful and and even say I'm sexy. It's just really sweet, you know. And love you, Sandra. This is all really, really sweet stuff. That you might miss me as a person, all that to me is stuff I would say if I was romantically attracted to someone, but you're not romantically attracted to me. So you're saying it from a different place. Do you see what I mean? Which is nice I explained this to you, because obviously you might not know this. And a lot of aromantics wouldn't know. Like, a lot of aromantics can be very, very friendly without realizing they're being friendly. Like, if an aromantic was married, for example, in a relationship, it's best for the aromantic to say, look, I've got a partner, I've got a boyfriend, I've got a husband, or whatever. And so it's better for asexuals in general to say that when they meet someone new, because a lot of the time, new people have got different agendas. We live in a predominantly heterosexual world still. So as a female, if I was in a relationship with a guy and another guy started approaching me, I would say I've got a partner very, very early in the conversation. I wouldn't leave it and carry on being a friendly conversation with them. Usually I would make it clear from the beginning, because a lot of people in the world are sexual and are romantic. A lot of heterosexuals are very romantic. Liam, I miss a lot of people. I never usually miss other YouTubers. Okay. Oh, bless you. That's really sweet. You see? But you've told me that you're aromantic, and you told me that you're not interested in a relationship, which is really good that you've told me that, because I need to know this stuff, because I'm a hyper romantic. You have to understand I'm a bit different to the average romantic person as well. I'm a hyper romantic. I'm excessively romantic. So I go around with romantic tinted glasses on everything I do or see, really. So I'm extreme romance. So I'm not interested in sex, but you can get hypersexuals, right? And one person said on this channel once, "Oh, why are you hypersexual if you're asexual?" I said, I'm hyper romantic. I'm not hypersexual at all. I'm hyper romantic. Hyper romantic is when you're excessively romantic. So I'm extremely romantic. Like, everything I see through romance, really. Words people use towards me, situations, even everyday life. I feel romantic usually on a daily basis. It's very rare a day would go by without me feeling some sort of romance. Like, I listen to, it's not very good though, because I listen to stuff that's not very helpful with my romance. Like, I was watching a movie today that had a romantic storyline in it, I listen to music, and some of the music's got romantic, romance in the music. And it's kind of like, so it makes me more romantic. So I have to manage my hyper romanticism, because it can get out of control. I'm much better at doing that, because years ago I just used to, if you ever go back through these videos, because I've done them for 5 years, you'll see years ago I fell in love really easily, like instantly, without meeting someone, like over a few texts. I thankfully don't seem to be like that anymore. I don't seem to actually fall fully in love with someone really quickly like that anymore. I get romantic feelings, so still, some people really quickly, like just for a conversation, but I don't fall in love with them like I used to, which is really, really good and positive for me. Really, really good and positive, because I really just want to reserve that type of love for when it's reciprocated by someone in future years, if it ever is. But do you know what I mean? So that's what I prefer, reciprocation. But I'm used to being rejected anyway. Like, so like a lot of asexuals fear dating. I don't fear dating, because I'm kind of used to being rejected all the time anyway, for whatever reason. So it just doesn't bother me a lot of the time, And I do have relationship anxiety. So if a guy rejects me, it's like kind of like, oh, that's okay. I don't need to get anxious over that, because I only tend to get anxious if a guy is actually really interested in being in a relationship with me, which sounds really, really stupid. So if a guy actually did start reciprocating that back, if I didn't know them very well, I'd be really, really anxious and quite scared. I think if I knew them as a friend for a long period of time, I think I'd be a bit better. I hoped I would be a bit better if they were right fit for me. But I haven't got any asexual friends that are suitable for a relationship with me. So that's not going to happen. I mean, I made the new friend recently, but that person hasn't messaged me today to see how I am or to say anything. So, they're probably just going to be a friend rather than, pursuing a relationship, which is fine. It's nice to have more friends. It's cool. But I am like, part of me is really interested in a relationship with someone. It'd be nice to get a really good asexual guy for me, but he needs to like kissing a lot, you know? And there's not many asexual guys I find that love kissing like I do. I love it like a hobby. Like I can kiss for up to 3 hours and it just time flies by and I don't even notice it. I'm not saying I'm going to kiss a guy for 3 hours every single night of my life because I wouldn't be doing that. But do you know what I mean? It's kind of like a YouTuber saved my life, so I really miss her. Oh, bless you. Wow. I miss a lot of people I never met, usually other YouTubers. Oh, I thought it said usually not other YouTubers, but it said I miss a lot of people I never met, usually other YouTubers. Oh, bless you. That's so sweet. A YouTuber saved my life, so I really miss her. That's nice, Liam. You do sound like a really sweet person. Really sweet person. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's nice to have someone who likes me, you know? I do have other people that speak highly of me in the chat as well. Um, so it's nice. It's really nice. That's nice. Someone saved you. I saved someone's life once in person. I was in the paper for it years ago. I got an award for it. I don't know if you can see it, by the police. Don't know if I can lift this up high enough without pulling the plug out. So I don't know if you can see that because I've hired it up, but I still got my birthday girl banners up. But the you see if you go up, sorry, you see the top of my head now. So you see, like, as you go up to the top, it'd be the top left-hand corner, that thing there. That's a Good Citizens Award, and the thing across from it is achievement certificate for saving someone's life as well. But that one, the top one, see that thing? Well, it's actually when I'm looking at it, it looks like it's on my left, but it's actually on the right. Good Citizens Award, it's on the right when you're looking at it. So the certificate of achievements on the left, top left. The top right is Good Citizens with Devon Cornwall Police. So yeah, someone was trying to commit suicide off a bridge. So yeah, I'm still friends with the person now. Actually, so it's nice. You know, they're still alive. But they were injured at the time, but they're not physically injured anymore, so that's good. But yeah, I bet you. I guess they were asexual, were they, Liam? So how you found out they were asexual? And when you say you miss them, are they still doing their show or are they finished doing their show? Because I noticed some asexuals, they do the show, and they just stop doing it. You know, they just stopped doing it. So anyway, I've been here for 5 years now. Don't see me going anywhere. Well, this is my 5th year. October 2020 will actually be specifically the month that it's been 6 years. But yeah, it's really lovely, Liam. You do sound like an adorable person. So keep being you. Keep being you. You know, but yeah, I mean, I can fall in love with someone that I've not met in person, but usually I don't do that anymore, which is good. It's probably because I tell a lot of guys who I talk to online that I'm not looking for someone abroad. I'm looking for someone in the UK. End of story. So I don't get feelings. You know, I don't let myself get into that personal trap for me because I don't want a long distance relationship. Like some asexuals are like saying, you know, could you have a long distance? You know, some people say yes, they're on YouTube. Oh, I'm glad they saved your life. It's really important, and I'm glad they're still on YouTube. It's good. It's really good, Liam. Really, really good. And so yeah, some people say, as an asexual, is it easier for you to have a long distance relationship? Would a long distance relationship suit you? Specifically me, they say that too. You know, like because I don't want to live with someone. And it's like, no, I can't do a long distance relationship. I could if it was in the same country as me, in the UK, do a long distance relationship for a while, but even so, I'd still want the guy to come and move to live near me because I'd actually want to kiss him. Did I mention I like kissing? Oh, you don't know if they're asexual? Okay. Well, I'm glad they saved your life. It's very important. Life is very precious, and we should always live and be our true selves, you know? Like I was saying earlier, there's this guy of the admin group, the sexual group that I'm in, one of the sexual groups on Facebook, and he removed horrible comments about, about me when I was saying I was asexual in that group. And he was saying, like I said about his profile picture because I didn't really think it was him. And then he said, it is me, but it's 16 years ago. Like, he's 40 now and fat. That's what he said to me. And he's feeling really down about himself. And I'm like, it would be more honest if you put an actual profile picture of who you are now and actually, was proud to be yourself. It's really important to be proud to be you, you know, because it just is, Not everyone's going to like me. I know that, but it doesn't matter. Not everyone's here to like everyone in life. You're always going to get people who like you and people who don't like you. You should never ever try and live your life to please other people because you'll just end up being told what to do your whole life and just going along as a people pleaser. And while that might seem nice for a while, it just be like you'll never be who you truly meant to be. Do you know what I mean? You'll never be true who you're meant to be. And I hope that guy changes. I hope even talking to me eventually he changes and he becomes his more true self. I'm losing my voice again. Because at the end of the day, he's an admin of this one, well, a moderator of one of the sexual groups, and he's getting rid of a lot of fake people in there. And although he says the picture's him, it's 16 years old. It's kind of like, well, it's not exactly, it isn't fake in the sense it is him, but it's kind of like not being completely honest. So he's kicking out a lot of people that are bad in the group, which is really great. He's cleaning up that group because he said this is not the way to talk to women and respect women, asking them for nude pics and sending them dick pics and stuff like that. So he's removed 25 people from the sexual dating group. So he's come in as a moderator and he seems to be cleaning up the group a lot and getting more respect for women because he said 2 women have left the group because all they were asked for all they were given is dick pics and asked for nudes. They'd only been in a few hours. So, sexuals do have problems as well, not just asexuals like this. And so, that's him who said about he's removed the horrible comments on my post because I'm in there posting about being asexual. But he understands to a certain extent because he's not asexual, he's so straight, but he's been cheated on, so he kind of understands more about a sex-free relationship, I guess. But he was asking my age and stuff, so I'm sure he's interested in me. He's kind of like skirting around everything. But he actually was married to the person I'm guessing he's probably still married. So you got to be very careful, even of people who like that particular guy from the sexual group. He seems quite a nice person, but obviously, I don't want to get involved with someone who's probably still married. How can anyone have a hate comment with you? You're a sweetheart. Oh, thank you, Liam. That's really sweet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I have them sometimes, especially in sexual groups, like they're like, they write stuff about like, is this person for real? And they write, well, they have, on my YouTube channel, I've got some really bad stuff, which I've just deleted. No one's seen it. But I had some really disgusting stuff, said to me and horrible stuff, but I just ignore it and delete it and forget about it. But in that group, I can't, well, it's that he's deleted it now, but there was just comments about like, oh, like you're never going to get a relationship if you don't have sex and, and stuff about that basically. Which is probably timid at the side of some other stuff. Even on Mingle, it's disgusting. Mingle's a predominantly sexual dating site, not asexual. But I had a guy say about defecating in my mouth. Oh, so sick. He was 22 years old from what he said he was. And he had like this sweet innocent picture and then was on about that. It's disgusting. It's absolutely foul. Do you know what I mean? But there are a lot of stuff, like I delete because I see a lot of comments come up in chat sometimes. I just delete them. There was a person on last night's stream. I just deleted it and didn't say anything because I have to put, like being asexual and being proud to be asexual and talking about it. People just write stupid stuff. and nasty stuff sometimes, I just ignore it. You know, I'm here at the end of the day for the people on my channel. The majority of people on my channel are lovely. The majority of people in my community are lovely. You know, I do a lot of work for asexuals because I really care about asexuality and care about people who are asexual, specifically really asexuals. You know, I just need to get asexuality recognised on a really global scale, and there's still a lot more I want to do in that respect. And I specifically need to get recognised. Stupid, sad trolls that are closed-minded. Yeah, Liam, there's a lot of them, sadly, and some of them pose as asexual, which is even worse. There was a guy on Twitter and he posed as asexual, but I saw him on another channel saying horrible stuff about asexuals. And there's a guy who was doing a play about asexuals and asexuality, and he's on Facebook. And yet I've seen him on another YouTube channel being horrible about asexuality. See, some people are very two-faced, dishonest, and ungenuine. But people believe what they want to believe and see what they want to see. They don't see the truth. You know, because I talk a lot about truth and honesty on this channel. I say things that people don't want to hear. Like who, you know, like a lot of asexuals won't really want me to, you know, to hear me talk about the fact I'm going to do a channel. Well, probably going to do another channel that's, you know, and I'm certainly going to have a brand called erogenicity. I mean, it's kind of like the opposite of asexuality to a certain extent, but not fully. And so it's kind of scary for me to do that. But I would rather be upfront and honest about it on this channel, regardless, than have some asexual come across it thinking, what else is she doing? She never told us about this. Which I like to be upfront and honest about what I'm doing. You know, but yeah, there's a guy and he came to me on Facebook and he wanted me to write the play for him. Basically, I said, no, you want me to write something like that, you pay me for it, mate. So you know what I mean? Because I write my own books for asexuals. I don't really want. I hadn't really got the time anyway. But I'm like, I'm not writing a play for you. And then I found out that he was on another channel being nasty about asexuality. Yet people think he's fine. People think, oh yeah, I'll like his Facebook page because he likes asexuality. They might even think he is asexual, but he's not. He's written in comments slagging asexuals off. You know, and I just hate to see people doing that type of thing. You know, the people that are genuine asexual, that do YouTube shows, I'm all for those. I really appreciate them being here. I really appreciate the other activists do a lot of work and put good work in. There's a few channels that are really, really genuine. They do good work. They're fantastic. But there's also some people that pose as asexuals that aren't really, and a lot of them are doing it to gain something. But because they tell people what they want to hear, people think they're genuine and they're not. And it's sad, you know. Specifically, that guy's writing a play because he's only writing a play to get money, basically, for the play. He doesn't even like asexual. I've seen him on another YouTube, like I said, comment being horrible about asexuality. So it's like, clearly, you know, you're just doing it for publicity. But I think other people have run into this guy because I did mention it to someone else. They're like, oh, I think that person's been in touch with me. So I think they might have started getting a reputation for themselves because on their Facebook page, I haven't looked for a while, but when I last looked at it, their page likes were slowing down. But you know, you always spend time getting to know a person and that, and you know, be aware of the people that tell you what you want to hear, because a lot of the time they are just doing that to tell you what you want to hear. You know. Like I'm very bold on my channel. I'm very blunt. I'm very open and honest. And some people don't like that. You know, there's other asexual channels and they are simply just saying what they want to hear. Most people don't believe asexuals. Most people don't believe asexuals don't exist. What do you mean? Most people don't believe asexuals exist. They think we don't exist. Yeah, I know. There's quite a few people that don't believe asexuals are real, but clearly I'm real. I've been here now on this channel since October 2015. I found out I was asexual in 2014. I mean, if they use their logic, there's books about asexuality, there's t-shirts for asexuals, there's loads of merchandise for asexuals. I mean, I obviously do my own t-shirts. I didn't know if you know that. Redbubble Asexualise shop. The link's down below just in case anyone was interested. I got about 60 of my own designs on there. I create my own designs, but I haven't done any for a while, new ones, because I'm doing other things at the moment. But you know what I mean? Clearly, if there's a market for merchandise and books, then clearly asexuals really exist just by that logic of, you know, supply and demand. You can't sell to an audience that don't exist. So, you know, all those people that don't think asexuality will exist is simply not true. You know, it's not true anyway. I clearly exist. I'm here. I just didn't know that I was asexual until 2014. And then looking back now, I know that I've been asexual since birth, basically, but didn't realise it, you know. I had my first experience at 6 years old and I didn't want to do sexual stuff. Yeah, I meant asexuals exist. Yeah, Liam. Yeah, a lot of people don't think asexuals exist, but people that are more conscious, people that are more open-minded, they can see it's true. Like I have a lot of entrepreneur friends on my list because I do a lot of entrepreneur stuff as well, and I'm like, there's 3 businesses I want to I put 2 originally, 3 businesses I want to launch by September, but I don't know how many I'm going to get done because I've got my book, Asexual Guide to Sex book, which I've got to start working again in the you know, it's Monday now because we've gone over to the next day. I've got to start working on that again. I need to get that finished in the next like 1 to 2 months if I can. I really need to get it finished now and published, but I still got a lot of my own story to write and still got some editing to do of other people's, and I've got a new story that's just come in as well on that one to be added at the last minute. So yeah, clearly asexuals do exist for me to be able to get people to write their own stories in my books. So yeah, you know, one of the things I'm going to be doing is make money channel, how to make money online, interviewing other people that have done really well at that, you know. So that's another channel in the future. So yeah, but I'm connected to a lot of entrepreneurs to do with that, and on Facebook as well as a number of asexuals, obviously. And you know, I promote asexuality on my Facebook profile. I talk about it. It's in my actual profile picture. So you know, I think most or the majority of entrepreneurs are a lot more open-minded. You know, they are more conscious. They're more aware that the life in society isn't how everyone sees it. You know, just go basically to a 9 to 5 job, get married, have kids, and die. Life isn't just like that, you know. It is if you want it to be, or it is if you're programmed to be, and then don't think of it any different. But you don't have to just be living that type of life, you know. There are other ways of making money, and there are other ways of living your life, you know. So a lot more of them are open-minded, and not all of them, but a lot more of them. They're more willing to listen anyway, you know. Some of them still don't get it, really understand it, but you know, one of them who's runs their own speaker training, they actually messaged me specifically to tell me that they were watching an asexual documentary. I think it was on Netflix. So that was nice of them. They got their own speaking academy. They teach people how to public speak. And they go all around the world doing it. So they specifically messaged me in private message saying that they were watching a documentary. And one of the things they posted on their Facebook is like, say something that most people don't believe is true. And I put, well, a lot of people don't believe that asexuality really exists and is true, but it is because I'm living proof it is. And he's like, oh, I know asexuality is definitely real. So that was nice of them. And you know, and he isn't asexual, you know. He teaches people how to speak on stage, but he also has a brand which is to do with sexuality in sex. So that's quite interesting. The opposite to do with me, you know. And one of my asexual friends years ago, they're like, "Oh, why are you friends with someone like that who is sexual and has a brand to do with sexuality? You know, to do with having sex, basically." I said, because first of all, I knew them as a speaker before they did their brand to do with sex. And I said, and secondly, just because I'm asexual doesn't mean to say I can't respect another person's sexual orientation. And that's one of their professional businesses. They go on stage talking about sex and stuff like that, you know. And one day I might, I might end up on stage with them, who knows, and I might mention asexuality. You never know, especially if I bring my erogenicity brand out, because that will talk to more sexuals. It will speak more sexuals language. And then I will be talking sometimes, particularly in my intro video, about the fact I'm asexual and got a different perspective and take on sexuality, sex, and relationships and dating. And so potentially I could end up on stage talking about sex stuff, but still bring in the fact I'm actually asexual, believe it or not. And so, that could be what happens in future years. So I think don't close these doors. I think keep them open and respect the fact that other people are different sexual orientations, along with the fact they respect that I'm a different sexual orientation. That's the person who said they know for definite asexuality is real, and they teach about sex and sexuality and that type of thing. So they obviously have taken. They didn't know. I don't think they'd heard of it until I came across me. But so that means I am getting it to more of a global audience, because obviously this person is a speaker. So who knows, they might mention it one day. That was always my plan as well, to friend entrepreneurs to get asexuality more in their minds, more on their radar, because they're the world leaders, thought leaders and speakers of the whole, go all over everywhere. And the more I say about asexuality, the more these speakers might take notice and finally start talking about it sometimes on their stages, because I'm here to really help get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation throughout the globe. That's always been my mission since I started this channel. I don't just want to be someone who just talks about asexuality as like a information, that's it. I actually want to get it recognised, bisexuals specifically, because we're not really going to change the world or make really huge difference unless sexuals really understand asexuality. They hear about it, they know about it, they understand it, and they accept it. That's what we need as soon as possible. We certainly need to be working on that, because obviously there's a lot of activism within the LGBT community. There's a lot of activism that there's more, there's more TV programs and documentaries. There's more YouTubers talking about asexuality now, which is really good. But there's still mass market heterosexuals that never heard of asexuality in their life, never come across it, think it's really strange, really weird. Am I having a laugh? Am I being serious? So I mean, some of them don't even think I'm being serious. Like, there was a heterosexual guy who was really bad. I can't remember how many years ago, and he lives not far from me still. And he's an older foreign guy, and I really wasn't that attracted to him, but I did kind of go on this date with him, and I told him I was asexual, and he tried to kiss me when I told him I didn't. I told him I didn't want sex, but I didn't even want to kiss him. I said no, and he grabbed hold of my wrist, and it was really bad. And he was being really horrible, saying, "Oh, I was being oversensitive." I mean, he grabbed, was it my wrists or arms? I think it was my arms. I had a bruise anyway. Yeah, I think it was one of my arms, because I did a video which showed a bruise on my arms. It must have been my top arms when he tried to kiss me, because I told him I didn't want him to kiss me as well. And then he told me, for some stupid reason, I carried on seeing him later, and then not after that. And then I said to him about he shouldn't have done that, and he'd been married before and divorced. I thought, no wonder why, because he said, "Oh, you're different to other women. I usually get druggy women after me," and I'm like, "Oh, this is not good." And then he was giving me all this sob story about it's really difficult for being a foreigner in the UK and all the rest of it. But yeah, I did see him later after he'd done that, because he was trying to twist it. Like, I'm better now, because I watch out for these twists. But he's trying to twist my mind, saying, "Oh, that I was overreacting. It's really hard for a foreigner to be in the UK," and I was feeling a bit sorry for him, which I shouldn't have done, really. After that, I didn't see him. He texted me to go, "Oh, have you calmed down now?" I'm thinking it's not me who was horrible. He was horrible, and I completely ignored him in the supermarket in front of a queue full of customers, and he hated that. So, but he literally he delivers for Nando's now as well, which is even worse, because I go to Nando's quite a bit. So I'm like, ugh. So yeah, but anyway, he lives not far from me, a few doors from me. But my point is that some guys are not good, and he didn't believe the fact I was asexual. I showed him a book. I showed him a book on Amazon. I'm like, how can you not believe that? It's a real book. Do you know what I mean? There has to be real asexuals out there to have a real book to sell the book. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, he said, "Oh, I honestly, so I thought you were joking. I didn't really think you're being serious." And I just thought that was so rude. So rude. Do you know what I mean? And it's like ignorance and rudeness that needs to change. You know, the only way we're gonna like change things as society is if we really can merge into the sexual market about asexuality and explain to them what asexuality is and get them to take it seriously. Because just think of all the people that are growing up not realizing they're asexual and being forced into really or pressurized into really sexual situations and being made to think, well, you've got to have sex to be loved. In a relationship, you've got to have sex because that's what's expected. You know, that was the message that basically I got when I was young. If you're going to be in a, not by my parents, but just by society, you know, if you're going to be in a relationship, you've got to have sex. You know, my dad was always, "Oh, your body's your own." You know, make sure that the guy knows that. So my dad was very good like that. But in society, you know, it's always like what's normal. But even my mum and dad, before they found out I was asexual, before I found out I was asexual, they were kind of laughing at, "Why don't you want sex in a relationship?" It's because I really don't like it. And then they stopped laughing then and realised when I told them, they took it very seriously. I was really glad that my parents were very understanding. Second time I spoke to them about it, they're like, "Oh, it sounds like you." So I think they must have looked it up, and they've been really understanding. They actually understand me better now, which is good. Really, really good. So I'm really pleased about that because I hate nudity, and my mum just couldn't understand why I hate nudity. She thought it was because I was insecure. It's like, no, I really hate nudity. It makes me want to throw up. And I just feel it's like cheating as well. I do feel it's like cheating. I feel like if I've got a partner, they shouldn't be going around looking at that. You know, if we've got films, we should be getting films that haven't got that in it. You know, I try to watch films that haven't got any nudity in them whatsoever. I hate nudity. I can't stand nudity in sculptures, in paintings, on TV, in films. I just don't like nudity. And my best friend Sam is nudity repulsed as well. They hate it as well. So I'm really glad I've got someone like me because I am a minority asexual in that respect as well. I think a body looks far better clothed. You know, give me a guy in street clothes who's got a beautiful like t-shirt on, neck chain on or whatever, you know, got a beautiful jacket on, got his hair all nice, you know, like beautiful trainers, nice baggy jeans or something, you know, it's just really nice. You know, I have clothes attractions. I just get really attracted to guys who wear certain types of clothing. I just think it's far better than a naked body, you know. I believe the body was designed to be clothed, not unclothed. Like even in the womb, the body's in a baby's in a sack, isn't it? It's still covered up, even though the sack's see-through. It's like, well, they were clothed to a certain extent. They had something over them, covering them up to a certain extent, even though it's see-through. Do you know what I mean? But I've never been interested in having a baby either. It's not never had that feeling. So, you know, so you just got to be very aware of guys that don't believe it's true, even if a guy says they understand when you're doing relationships and dating, particularly if you do ever try dating sites that are for, you know, predominantly heterosexuals, you know, you have to be very wary and careful and cautious of the guys that say, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's fine, you don't want sex," because a lot of them are just saying it. They don't think you actually mean it. They might think you're just like saying it for now because a lot of women don't, or you know, people don't like to just jump in and have sex anyway when they first meet someone. The majority of people will be a bit cautious a lot of the time, I would have thought. So they might just be thinking that you're being cautious, right? But it's not. It's because you're asexual. So you have to be very aware and wary of people, guys that, you know, do say, "Oh yeah, that's fine, you don't like sex." And you know, I've had so many guys when I go clubbing saying I don't like sex. They just repeat what I say. Because you know, like earlier, if you watched this video, I talked about mirroring and what you do to get someone to really like you or to sell an idea or concept or product to someone is you mirror their words back. So if I say I don't like sex, the guy immediately says I don't like sex too. It's meant to make me feel more comfortable around him, obviously, and then make me more drawn to him because they think I'm the same as him. But he's just telling me what I want to hear, or he thinks I want to hear, not what I actually do. I want to hear the truth. And if he's like sex, then he's no good, is he? So bye, out the door. So be very wary and careful of these guys that say, oh yeah, it's fine, I don't like sex either. If they say it immediately like that, it's usually a load of rubbish. And if they say that they can be fine without sex, be very careful, because a lot of the time they can't. There are a few heterosexuals I've dated who can be without sex for a period of time while you're dating them. But you have to have very strong stipulations, boundaries, very, 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 very strong. Usually I pick guys who I'm more physically stronger than them most of the time, or I look more physically strong than them, or I feel more stronger than them, or as strong. And I usually see guys in a public place most of the time, a lot of the time, until I've got to know them at least for a while. It's very, very important. So anyway, I hope you found this video useful, helpful, insightful. Thank you, Liam, so much for being in the chat today. You've been absolutely wonderful as usual. And thank you to My Life earlier. I really appreciate you being here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And thanks to everyone who's given this a thumbs up so far. If you've got any comments, queries, or questions about anything raised in this video after this live stream's off live, then please leave them down below underneath this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments, any other further information you might have about guys to avoid or people to avoid. I've talked about basically the guys, that have a different type of profile picture, like their profile picture is far older than their profile picture is years old, so they're older now than they were before. Obviously, I've spoke about guys that won't show you their Facebook profile, or they, like the post on there is like from 4 years ago, or whatever. A lot of these guys have other profiles, like a second one. So you've got to be really, really careful of that type of thing as well, and be very wary of any guy that says they don't, if you say you don't like sex, and then just basically mirror what you say and say it straight away. They don't usually mean it. Be very careful of all that. Bye bye, love you, Sandra. Awesome. Thank you, Liam. Lots of love to you as well. I really appreciate you being here. Lots of love so much, and it's been really nice to chat to you. You're really awesome yourself. So stay awesome, stay ace, stay ace. Until next time, brace your quirky and each other's, and I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Bye, Liam. Bye, everyone else. Lots of love. Take care. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you've not subscribed already. Take care. Bye.